abstain from that because I know, like, I respect my body so much. Like, I respect my body and I don't want to put any sort of junk in it.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I was just like, fuck, I hate you. Like, you're disgusting. I put anything in you, poison you. I don't care about it.
Yeah.
But, like, this is my temple today. So, so that's how I think about it. Like, if I'm going to put something in my body, like, how is that going to affect me? So that helped me to stop using those substances. But with the eating disorder, like, it's difficult because when you're training for competition, you get the cheat meal once a week.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was treating that thing like cheat binge, you know?
Yeah.
And I was trashing my body when I do it. Like, there's a certain way that you do that stuff. And I wasn't really in recovery when I was doing that. So the last show I did, I wasn't like, you know, I was better, but I wasn't like as good as I am now. So I'm very, very conscientious about how I eat. Like, am I eating because I am hungry? I really have to be mindful and be in tune with my body, like, all the time.
Being self-aware of your reactions.
So self-aware. Like,
Yeah.
I have to, you know, am I tired? Am I feeling lonely? Am I angry? And, like, that's how people with eating disorders have to think, because it is so quick when you're binging and purging. It's like, I'm gonna use all this stuff to make me feel better, and then the purging of it is like, it's a very angry emotion. It's very, like, anger fueled. And so I'm really in check, like, all day long. Like, how am I feeling? Did I go to bed late? Did I wake up really early? Like, I have to be mindful of what's happening day to day so that when I get home, I'm not, like, shoveling food in my mouth. Because that's what triggers the purge, is binging. So the last year and a half, I've probably binged like 3 times, which is huge for me. For someone who's used to do it all day long.
Yeah, no, it's progress, not perfection. Like,
right.
You know,
Right. So, like, today, you know, I just practice mindfulness. It's a different story. Like, if I were in competition prep, I'd be eating a different way, but I'm not. So I just, you know, I make sure I fuel properly, eat when I need to. You know, when I start prepping again for a show, it'll be a different story. I'll be eating more. I'll be training more.
Yeah.
And I guess what you could call a relapse for somebody who's a bulimic would be, it could be the behavior, the eating disorder behavior. It could be the binge. It could be the purge. It could be binging and purging. For me right now, because I haven't done any of that in almost a year and a half, it's the eating disorder thoughts. Because sometimes if I get down, I'm like, God, you're gross. Or you need to lose some weight. Maybe they'd like you a little bit better if you're a bit skinnier.
Yeah.
So I still have those thoughts that come in.
Yeah, I relate.
And then I'm like, wait a minute, you're beautiful. Why would you say that about yourself? So it's like a constant battle of or like a conversation that I literally have with myself all day long.
Yeah.
About, you are good enough, like, you're more than enough, like, you don't need to change yourself, enjoy that. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know exactly
Right.
what you're talking about. For me, it's like, I need to get bigger, I need to get bigger, I need to get bigger. Oh no, I lost 2 pounds, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Like, let's go to McDonald's and just eat, or Burger King or
Right.
whatever, and just eat, because at least I'm not drinking.
Oh.
At least I'm not using. At
Yeah.
least this, like.
So you justify it.
I justify it, yep. Like, instead of, like, going home and cooking a healthy meal, I'll go blow $80 a day eating out, because that's, like, I feel better. I'll buy you dinner to make me feel better.
Okay.
Like, I'll do anything to make myself feel better, but, like.
That's codependency, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, codependent, addict, alcoholic. I look in the mirror and I think I'm tiny, and people tell me, like, guys who, like, I think are a lot bigger than me. They're like, no, like, you're bigger than me. I'm like, no, it's BS. Like, I still think I'm the 100-pound, 19-year-old heroin addict.
Okay.
In my head.
Right.
Like, when really I step on the scale and I'm 185 pounds today. Like, it just.
It's a totally, like, skewed perception of self.
Yeah.
And yeah, I totally get what you mean, but like all you can really do is pay attention to those thoughts as they come through. That CBT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can all do positive affirmations all day long to remind ourselves, you are good enough, you look great, you are beautiful, so on. But
yeah, somebody suggested, and like, 'cause I'm like, I keep telling people like, no, I'm just codependent as fuck. They're like, well, how about you doing an affirmation in the morning that you're independent?
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, like, yeah, mind blown. Like,
so easy, but like so simple.
Yeah.
And people, we just make it hard, and it's not that hard.
Right. So you've talked about recovery, like, and then you're doing the Rise and Shine thing in the Helena community. Would you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'd love to actually. And a couple months ago, you talked to me about the Phoenix.
Yeah.
And so Phoenix Multisport, I think the guy started that down in Denver. And the way that I found out about the Phoenix, I was watching a TED Talk. And so, wow, that's an amazing program. We should have something like that here. So I reached out to the Phoenix people. How do we get this started in Helena, Montana? No action was really taken. I went to this conference over in Missoula, and it was an addictions conference. And there was this man named Ian Ackerman, I believe, and he's from Salt Lake City. And he started Fit to Recover down in Salt Lake City. Okay. So in that program, there was, they did AANA, they had a music studio, they had a kitchen, they had fitness classes.
Oh, wow.
And maybe I think that's all that they did inside within this one building. And I was like, wow, let's talk. And he said, get some people to start showing up, and then I'll tell you what to do next.
Okay.
So then I started the group Rise and Shine because I was like, we need to have something for this. I'm so sick and tired of my people relapsing. I'm sick and tired of people dying, overdosing.
Yeah.
Having to move away because they don't have a community to support them in recovery here.
Right. And go to work, go to a meeting, and then wait, the winter, it's depressing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I need to do something because it's really devastating to see clients going back to prison, people dying, all that stuff. I wanted to change something. So I started this program called Rise and Shine, and basically it is physical fitness, nutritional wellness, community service, and creative expressions. So that's like hiking, snowshoeing, skiing, rock climbing. Here at Capital City Health Club, they host us 2 nights a week where we can do open gym or go to 12-step yoga. And we go down to the Painted Pot to do crafts, and I'm working with places in the community to host us so that we can learn how to cook. How do you eat in recovery? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this stuff. And then the idea is to give them a community of people to connect with. So we've got our Facebook page. We've got like 150 members on our Facebook page, but
that's awesome.
That's fine.
150 members in recovery on your Facebook page? That's awesome.
It is cool. It is really cool.
In a town with 30,000 people?
Yeah, it's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and people show up, and it's family involved. Like tonight, I offered a lady to come. I said, bring your grandchildren, go swimming, and you just be a member of our group, and you guys can come and do your thing here. Like, it's a thing for you to do with other people who are working towards the same goal. So it's staying active, healthy, and focused on recovery-oriented activities.
Yeah.
So
when I got the information about the Phoenix, I was like, this is awesome. I had no idea that you were doing your thing. And I'm like, man, let's do this. And right now it's on pause. Just other stuff came up and that's on pause right now, but I love that you're like doing it. You
gotta do something. You can't just wait for it to show up. So,
exactly. Like you took action, and like it's awesome. When I first got sober at 19, I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to pay my bills. I didn't have any hobbies.
Right.
Like, thank God my roommate was in recovery and he mentored me through the process. So he got me in the gym. He taught me how to cook like hamburger helper and chicken.
Sounds great.
I didn't know how to do that. like the instructions are on the box, and I didn't know what I was doing. Like I did heroin and drank Red Bull and had a banana. That was my life.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't know what, I thought I was being an adult, but I had no idea. I was a 19-year-old baby, basically. So, anyways, that's awesome that you're doing that. What does the Rise and Shine program, do for you?
Makes me tired.
Yeah?
It's Thursday night. It starts in 30 minutes, and, I've got a lot going on in graduate school, and then I work, 4/10s, and so I'm gone 2 days a week in Missoula, and then, hosting this group in the community. It's a lot on my plate. I have another guy I work with who's also in recovery. I love him. He helps me with some of the nights. He'll show up, and then I got the night off, so I can do my homework or something.
Yeah, for sure.
And there are people in the group who are willing to show up, but at the same time, it's I really like to be there for people, but I have to have boundaries too.
Yes.
And I struggle with that because all I want to do is help people.
Right.
And
I get that so much.
Seriously, me not showing up here tonight to do this for you, I would have felt bad about doing that because I've committed. If I commit to something, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And
you say we're going to be
right.
going to do it, which I respect,
right.
but
and you followed up with me, and I'm I told you I'd be there.
For sure.
I'm the most consistent person you could ever meet. Because if I say I'm going to do something, I will be there, and I will be doing it.
Even if you're, do you commit too much that
I do.
Your home life is fucked?
I do. And that situation I was talking to you about when I first came in today, I decided that I wouldn't do that because I'm keeping boundaries.
Yeah.
I have to maintain my health. I have to maintain my recovery.
Yeah.
Because if I don't take care of myself, then I won't be able to do any of this.
Yeah.
No LAC, no therapy, no recovery group.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be back at home binging and purging all day long until I died.
Right.
You
got to take care of you.
That's what I would do. So yeah.
I get that. Very much. I get that. I know you got a lot going on tonight. It's Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. Is there a message to the world that you'd want to get out there?
I think, I just think of this quote. I think it's on my Facebook page, but it says, loving yourself is the greatest revolution. And, if you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be able to help your baby. You're not going to be able to help your parents. You're not going to be able to help your partner that you're with. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I think, because it is Valentine's Day, I think that people should really focus on, loving themselves.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to give anything to anybody else. So.
I love that.
Thanks.
That I'm trying to work on that myself right now. It's weird. The universe just keep putting a message like that in front of me, and it's well, maybe I should listen.
Yeah, and I get those too. I'm like, why are you doing so much for everybody else? It's like when you go to the store, maybe you're buying something for somebody. You're I'm gonna get you the best brand name.
Right.
But for you, you're gonna get the Safeway Select.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
it's why do you treat yourself that way? So it's give yourself the best. Focus on giving yourself everything that you need. Mm-hmm. And then when the time is right, you give everybody else what they need too.
Right.
So.
Do you have any morning habits that you do for success?
Morning habits. I like to run, and I usually run my dog in the morning. But right now, because I have to be to work at 7, I wake up at 6, and there's just not enough time.
Yeah.
And once my schedule gets back to me when I finish school and things go back to normal, I'll start running her again, because that was the best thing I did. So every day I wake up, I take my vitamins, I take my Spark. That is consistent in my life. And I like to start the day with exercise, but unfortunately right now my exercise has to wait until the end of the day.
Yeah.
But like normally that would be my routine.
Most
And
definitely.
even if it's like 15 minutes, that's perfect.
Yeah, just get the endorphins going.
Yeah.
Body weight and go.
Yeah. And I like to listen to music. Every morning I wake up and I listen to music, and that makes me feel good. And you know, I'd take my dog for a walk or something before I go to work. And like, I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah.
You too? You do, like, you've got routine?
Oh yeah, I wake up and I make my bed, and then
too.
like I'll brew my coffee.
Yeah.
And then like I'll read some literature, and like I'll pray, and then like I will have like a meditation going on in the back, or I'll have like a mood booster going, or like a symphony classic, and then
nice.
I just drink my coffee and I focus on my breath, and then I start my day.
Oh.
When I don't do that, my coworkers and the people around me, they suffer.
Oh no.
Yeah, like I used
Yeah.
to wake up and go to the gym first,
Yeah.
and then I would put all that other stuff, like I would come, stretch, meditate at the gym, and then pretty soon it was, okay, well, I don't need to stretch, so then I'm not going to meditate, or I'll meditate at home, and then pretty soon my old behaviors go back, and so now I work out at the end of my day, or the end of my work day, and then I get my spiritual stuff grounded in my morning habit, grounded
good.
in the beginning. If I make my bed in the morning, that's at least one thing that I accomplished that day. At least one thing. And like I didn't believe in that, because I would wake up and I wouldn't make my bed for years. And when I started doing that, like my days just started going smoother and smoother and smoother, and being more productive. And now I strategically plan out my day. I write down. Some days it's not, I'm not perfect. Some days I just think about it. But I like to write it down. I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, and I have goals. If I don't reach those goals, that's okay. I'll try the next day, but at least I tried. But I know if I make my bed, then at least I got one thing done.
I like that.
So, anyways, I know you got lots of stuff going on. I'm not trying to cut you short by any means. Is there any words of wisdom you want to go before?
Yeah, there's one other thing I was going to say. Have you ever read The 7 Decisions?
No.
It's by Andy Andrews.
I don't think I have.
Okay, so if I can give you all one final word of advice, read that book. Like, best book I've ever read in my life.
What is it called?
The 7 Decisions.
7 Decisions, okay.
Yeah, and it's all about like being accountable for your choices and where you are in your life.
Okay.
And I think that was like one of the biggest game changers for me, like figuring out my purpose in this world, what I was meant to do, where I'm going, why I'm there or why I'm not. And it's like I go back and I reread that thing. Like, it's brilliant.
Okay.
So.
Right on. I will check it out. I love hearing new authors like Tim Ferriss, Gary Vee, Daniel Pink. Really, not self-help books, but self-building books.
What are some of those titles that you just said?
The 4-Hour Body, The 4-Hour Work Week, To Sell Is Human by Daniel Pink, Crushing It by Gary Vee, and then the Robert Kiyosaki is Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that just helps me with like the business side and like financing and stuff like that.
Which is good too for addictions. It's like,
especially, and then like I'm getting into like the Dave Ramsey thing, because I'll blow money just like I'm sticking a needle in my arm. Like, this will make me feel better, so I got to use the Dave Ramsey to like keep me grounded. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. Like, I will binge on anything. It is ridiculous.
Oh, at least you're aware of what you're doing.
Lots of pain and suffer. It wasn't like, oh, I know what I'm doing. It's like, oh, fuck, I gotta change something. Jesus, what am I doing? Why?
Right.
Why am I spending $600 a week on supplements? Like, why? Why am I doing it? Like, or why am I spending $600 a week at Applebee's?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Oh
like,
gosh, that's so much money.
Yeah, like it. Just,
but that's what I used to do. $200 a day, binging and purging if I wasn't stealing food.
Right.
So it's like, I know how crazy these things are. Like, I get it.
After I was sleeping in my car in Vegas 7 months ago, and after like almost losing my life, waking up in the ICU, like I got to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
I got to, and like, you know, I just want to inspire people. You know, I know you have an incredible incredible story, and you're like helping the community. That's why, you know, your message and your journey is why I wanted you on here. Like, you know, I think what you're doing is awesome, and you know, you're helping people, and hopefully somebody who's listening to this, they'll get inspired by your message. Like, you inspire me. Like, it's watching you, like seeing you, like get in the bodybuilding a couple years ago. Like, that's freaking BA.
Thanks.
Like, that's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
and then, you know, everything else that you're doing is pretty inspirational. So
Thank you. You know, I think that going from, you know, somebody who was literally like dying from an eating disorder to bodybuilding, like that's pretty cool.
yeah,
And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but
No,
it's
but
like,
it is.
It is cool because
Yeah.
like our bodies are so resilient, our minds are resilient, and if we just, you know, keep up with this fight, you know, we can take ourselves wherever we want. And I didn't let, like, you know, I was like half the size I am today at my lowest point. And it's like, I'm not gonna let that, I'm not gonna let like that person stop me from being who I wanna be.
get that. Now look at you.
I'm live.
You're alive, healthy,
Yeah.
beautiful. Like it is, it's pretty cool. So, all right. Well, thank you again. Oh, and a shout out to Capital City for letting us use
Yeah.
this room. The staff here has been amazing.
Yep. Yes, they have.
They know who they are. So, this is where I've been working out for the last 7 years.
Yeah, they've been a huge part of my journey too. And
Yeah.
like the community here, the people have really supported me through the process. All of it. You know, they know about like what I went through. Like,
Yeah.
because I worked here. I
Yeah.
worked here for several years, and I'm just really thankful for everybody here still, even not being an employee here anymore. But
Yeah, most definitely.
yeah.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful
Yeah.
Valentine's
Thank
Day.
you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.